Hi, I'm back. It's day 10, and I'm still doing these, several a day. We're supposed to share a book or a course that has influenced us. I've tried signing up for online courses and I don't follow through. Follow through is a giant, enormous obstacle for me. And I don't have a lot of time to read. And I've found since having my second child that I do not retain information. The mommy brain, it's a real thing. And I have it in the worst way. So I avoid online courses because I am really not good at self-direction. My creative process is very organic and I have a definite start and a definite finish, but in between I'm all over the place. And I find that's terrible when you're trying to learn something in a structured environment. But there is something that I started to read years and years and years ago when my son was very young. It was called The Artist's Way. And my aunt and I were supposed to do it together, and I never followed through. I don't know if she ever did. But it's a day-to-day exercise in creativity. And for anyone, you don't have to be a creative person. You don't have to be good at writing or drawing or painting or anything like that. All you have to do is do it. I never finished the book, but the little tiniest bit that I did finish, it jump-started, it did something in my head. It flipped a switch. I was at the time in college and having a hard time. I was raising my son, living in a little apartment at my parents' house, and I had a lot of support, but it was really hard to focus, and I was in a very sort of dreamy space back then. I felt like my creativity was a gift to me. I still do, and I felt like I was just wasting it. I was in art classes. I was in college to be a graphic designer. I was currently taking a painting course, I believe, but I felt like I was a robot. I was just doing what they told me to do because they told me to do it. And I didn't know at the time that that was okay in the creative industry. That was perfectly acceptable. But my aunt sent me this book and she said, would you like to do this with me? So I started to do it. And the first exercise is writing a letter to yourself, to your childhood self, I think it was. And then you put it in an envelope and you're not supposed to open it until you finish the entire exercise. And I never finished, so I never opened my letter back up. But then there are other little exercises throughout. I have since picked up another book, The Design 30, which is a 30-day challenge. I think I got to day 2 or 3, but I didn't confine myself to the 30 days. So I'm going to continue to do those exercises. They just won't be done in 30 days. But those kind of books, I think, they speak to me because you don't have to do them in 30 days because nobody's grading your work. It's not an online course where there are deadlines. Or even like this video challenge, there's a certain date that, Nev wants these done by. It's not like that, so I'm totally free to do it, in 30 days or 30 months or 30 years. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you're doing it and you're enjoying it and you're getting something out of it. And what you get out of these things is you open your mind and you make it go places that it wouldn't go if you were just going through the motions of your job or just washing dishes as a mom, changing diapers, talking about, current events and stuff like that. Sometimes we can feel like robots, like things are kind of stagnating in our brains. And even people who don't consider themselves creative, accountants, programmers, they're not thought of as innately creative. But I found that given just a little bit of motivation and a little bit of a prompt, anybody can be creative. We're all creative. Accountants have to think creatively to solve accounting problems. And programmers have to think creatively to overcome programming obstacles in their software or their app, whatever it is. As a mother, we're constantly, as moms, having to be creative in, managing multiple kids and running a household and, you know, maneuvering through everything. I mean, just all of the things that bombard you on a daily basis. We all have to be creative. If you're not creative, I don't see how you could possibly be happy. So, a book. It's called The Artist's Way. It's very old now, and I highly recommend it to anybody who might want to, you know, give themselves a little push in a creative direction. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. I look forward to hear what you guys found too.